Hello, my wonderful friends. Megas here. I have such an exciting video for you guys today. We're going to do the invocation of the monad. That is the same power that Jesus used to heal, that the Magi used, that the Neoplatonists used to heal themselves and others. We're going to go through the very first point of the 8-pointed star of the Magi. And my friends, by the end of this, I promise you, your life will never be the same. Hello, my wonderful friends. Welcome back. So today we're going to be deep diving the ancient Magi symbol of the 8-pointed star. And the beautiful thing about this symbol as we go through it, you're going to realize, oh, I've always known that. It was hidden in your heart, and something about just seeing the symbol, it awakens something in you. And the ancient Magi and the masters knew that when they created it. We're going to be talking about point 1, which is the highest principle of God good. It's what Zarathustra called Mazda, Plato called the good. It's the real. And the beautiful thing about the real God is the real cannot be threatened and nothing unreal exists. My friends, you'll have the realization of who God really is and who you really are. And you know, Zarathustra, thousands of years ago, he saw that the original source could only be all good. Zoroaster means unmixed. Right? It's the love without the hate, the peace without the war. It's just the highest principle of good. Asha 13, I love so much. It says the original word of the good religion, all good comes from the Creator and no evil comes from him. And from this original word, the spiritual world is made straight, and then the material world comes into order. Look at this though. The original word of false religion is that evil comes from the Creator, and from that false idea is all the evil creatures suffer. My friends, I'm going to show you how to end suffering today with point 1 of the 8-pointed star. You know, Plato also talked about this. Centuries later, he came to the same conclusion that God was all good. And so he could only create good. And he saw things that weren't good as not being from the Creator, and that the Creator does not send suffering, and that suffering is just illusion. And of course, he used the cave analogy. People in a cave, and they're just looking at the shadows on the cave wall, but there's a true light behind them, right? And what happened? Someone noticed the true light, turned around, went out, saw the real God, the good God, the real world, came back in and tried to tell the people in the cave. They couldn't hear it. They wouldn't hear it. They plugged up their ears. They closed their eyes to the truth. My friends, today I want you to see the real sun. You know, Neoplatonists talked about that as God is just the sun, and he's always shining just goodness. Again, unmixed. It's not love and hate. It's not peace and war. God doesn't send sickness and disease or suffering to teach you a lesson. Humanity has been taught to fear the divine. They're taught a God that gets angry and punishes. And whenever someone stands up with these higher ideas, right, like Socrates, he said that the gods shouldn't be called gods because they're not good, right? They get angry, they get jealous. Their punishments can last eternity. And what did they do? They silenced him. They put him to death. Same with Jesus, right? Bringing the idea of the loving Father and all good God, right? They want to crucify that. And my friends, you know, as we're talking about the cave, I'm thinking of just a more modern idea to wrap our minds around. Think of just being in a room and you have one lamp. And they tell you that that lamp, that light is God. But you don't get any warmth from it. It doesn't bring life. It doesn't grow anything. And you just keep bowing to it, and you're warned to never leave the room. My friends, what you'll find is if you leave the room and walk out into the sun and you feel the warmth and the sun, it just shines on you, and you don't have to believe in it. You don't have to worship it. It just is. My friends, and the masters wanted you to realize that God, that light is just all good. And when you're in it, you know it because it's life-giving. And my friends, when you remember, and this is where we're going to be getting to as we go around the points, the remembrance that you come from that God good. You remember who God is. You restore God's image, right? You get out of the cave, get out of that room with that false light, and you get out into the real light, and you awaken to who God really is, and you realize, you recognize that you and God are one. The real you can't be stained, can't be harmed or threatened. The real you is that God good, that light that darkness cannot enter, that love that hate, fear, greed, those low frequencies cannot come into who you truly are. All the suffering is just in the realm of forms, illusion. We awaken to the real. When the great masters healed or shifted reality, they weren't manipulating the physical world. They were completely bypassing the illusion of the material world, acting directly from the union with the monad. If you look at the healings of Jesus, he did that by his refusal to believe in separation from source. When he saw someone that was sick or blind or paralyzed, he wasn't begging an angry God to fix a broken person. He would see them beyond the veil. He would see the real them that could not be harmed. His consciousness was so anchored into I and the Father are one that the physical world had to realign. Look at the philosopher Plotinus. He coined that term henosis. It's mystical oneness. And his students claimed that when they would be even just in that state, that low frequencies of fear, anxiety, depression, it couldn't survive in that oneness with God. Plotinus also is the one that gave us that mental concept of the ocean and the drop of water. When you realize that you as the drop of water are the ocean, it's one thing, and it brought about healing. And how many testimonies have we seen on this channel over the years of people that have been completely healed from OCD, depression, anxiety, just from point one of the star, realizing that God is all good and that you are never separated from that. Also makes me think of the great Sufi mystics. They had what is called fana, which again, it's that oneness with the loving God. And all the healings that you see from those Sufi saints and prophets came from that fana, that place of you and God are one. And you start to see yourself as God, right? Evil cannot enter God. You see yourself as light, and darkness cannot enter light. You are that highest frequency of love, where those low frequencies of hate, fear, greed, depression, dis-ease cannot enter. It's that knowing. And again, this knowing, when this was written, it's more than just to know about. It's the knowing of a man would know his wife. The two become one. You become the love, the life, the peace, the joy, the power, the freedom. You become one with God good. If you've seen me, you've seen God good. All right, my friends. So now we'll do the invocation of the monad, of the all good spirit. And then at the end, we'll close with our prayer for the first point of the star. So you can either close your eyes, take some long, deep breaths, or you can just focus on the star. I step past the shadows of the temporary world. I pierce the veil of all human fear. I look to the highest peak of reality, to the one, the monad, the all-good source. You are the ultimate light, containing no darkness, no anger, no judgment. Because I am born of you, nothing real within me can ever be threatened. Source of all light, absolute and true, everything begins and ends in you. Awaken your ultimate radiance from deep within my spirit this day. I am as I was made, pure, whole, and unending.
Follow the starlight, pure and divine, to lands where Asha's virtue shine. In every soul, in every place, heaven on earth, in love and grace. Your love saved me, lifted me up so high. With you in my heart, I can rule the sky. Through every storm, you're my shelter and my guide. In the light of your love, I'll always reside. In Asha, I see a future full of endless dreams. With each heartbeat, Asha's woven into every seam. Together we will dance through life, hand in hand we'll roam. In the light of your love, I found my home. Asha.